Another leftist lie falls apart, and this show called BS on it from the very beginning. The saga began last August during the Olympics in Paris. That's when the world witnessed a biologically male boxer pummel a female boxer. It took only 46 seconds for the woman to withdraw from the fight, which was supposed to be between two women. The female boxer then fell to her knees, threw her helmet, yelling, "This is unjust," later telling the media, "I've never taken a punch like that." It was a prime example of what female athletes from high school all the way to the Olympics are up against when the powers that be cower to rabid gender activists. The male boxer is Algeria's Megyn Kelly. Here is what we said on this show just hours after that fight ended. With the whole world watching, we have just witnessed a biological woman, also known as just a woman, in a fight with a boxer who was not allowed to compete against women last year because it's a man. The person's splitting hairs. Everyone's splitting hairs around this person, saying, well, he has XY chromosomes, but I guess we can't call him a man because he calls himself a woman. I don't give a shit. You have XY chromosomes, you're a man. Khalif had been disqualified from the 2023 Women's World Championships for failing chromosome testing. Another male boxer at the Women's Games, Lin Yu-ting from Taiwan, also failed the same test. Some had speculated that they were intersex, meaning they have male chromosomes, they have male internal organs, but they might have a vagina. However, they would never develop breasts. They would never have a period because they don't have a uterus, they don't have ovaries, and they are genetically male, which includes male advantage. That's why Megyn Kelly looks just like a man, is as large as a man, has the testosterone and body strength and limb length and wingspan of a man. Okay, no one cares what's actually between his legs. We're talking about fairness and safety. All right, but no one would publicly discuss it. In fact, Khalif is adamant that he is 100% a woman, saying during the games, "I am a woman, like any other woman." He has called anyone questioning that enemies of success. These guys were both able to get into the Olympics, even though the International Olympic Committee knew that they had been barred from the championships for testing positive for XY chromosomes. They are not XX. That's female. XX is female. XY is male. The IOC said the pair had competed in the 2021 Tokyo Olympics as women, and after all, their passports state that they are female.
Competing in the women's category is participating complying with the competition eligibility rules. They are women in their passports, and it's stated that is the case, that they are female.
Well, if the passport says it, it must be true. An Olympic boxing trainer in Spain came forward to reveal that Khalif was considered too dangerous for women to fight in that country, saying, quote, "Whoever we put Khalif with was injured." The tests, the warnings, all ignored by the IOC, and both men went on to win gold medals. The female Olympians, after years of incredibly hard work and devotion to the sport, basically told, "We don't give a damn. Just stop your crying." In fact, the female boxer Khalif took down in just 46 seconds later came out and said she felt sorry for him and apologized for not shaking his hand after the match. Such was the pressure on everyone in her sport and those commenting on it to take a knee on this issue and just accept this is a female. At the same time, many took aim at this show for daring to speak the truth. The Daily Show directly taking aim at yours truly and my womanhood.
Seems pretty open and shut to me, right? She was born a woman, lives as a woman, and boxes other women. So what is the argument against that?
This is such an outrage. Look at this. This is a man. This is a man who is competing in the boxing tournament for women.
No, she's not. She's a woman. She's a woman like you, Megyn Kelly, a woman at the peak of her career, unlike Megyn Kelly, but she...
Okay, I literally have no idea who that person is, so fine. The leftist outlet Salon loved that segment. Instead of doing any real reporting of its own, the outlet just wrote up an article declaring The Daily Show calls out Megyn Kelly for misgendering Olympic boxer. I didn't misgender him at all. Media Matters also taking aim at this show, writing a headline, Megyn Kelly misgenders Olympic boxer Megyn Kelly. And listen to this segment on the Young Turks, where yours truly was labeled Garbage Person of the Week, simply for telling the truth.
My garbage person of the week is Megyn Kelly. And in the extended commentary, both Carrie, which you saw, and Megyn Kelly intentionally misgender Imani Khalif. Like a month after they know that Imani Khalif is a woman, objectively, according to all of their weirdly specific definitional requirements, is a woman, has always been a woman, will always be a woman. And they're still misgendering her a month later. They know that their audiences are all men. And they're men that want to see these women attack and demean and belittle other women.
Literally not one word of that is right. Right. Not one word. Again, another person I've never seen or heard of. But the list of attacks did not end there. The media took aim at anyone in conservative media telling the truth about these two boxers. Former ESPN anchor Jamel Hill writing on X, I hope Khalif sues some people over their reckless remarks. All this story did was expose ugliness, hatred, and transphobia. Hill then went on CNN, where she and one of the network's hosts, Laura Coates, continued to stand up for Khalif.
People jumped the gun on this before knowing the full story.
Conservative right being at the top of the list are weaponizing trans women and the trans community and using that as part of their ongoing culture wars, that there is certainly a huge issue with transphobia in our country. And all it boiled down to was that the woman that she competed against realized after getting hit, she couldn't compete. And rather than accept that gracefully as a competitor, she chose to weaponize this further by crying. There was nothing unjust about it. I mean, to be frank, you just got your butt beat, and that's the end of what happened.
If you want to protect women and daughters, she is a woman. She is somebody's daughter, and she's a woman in sports. And it just conjures up that old statement, ain't I a woman?
This is unbelievable. It's unbelievable. The cover that these women ran for Megyn Khalif, who is male. The list goes on, and it's long. All right, just listen. ESPN analyst Mina Kimes shared a similar message. This story has reached thermonuclear levels of BS and grift-fueled hate. Of course, Megan Rapinoe, soccer star, naturally came to a man's defense in female sports. Now that she's made her millions, she doesn't give a shit about the young girls and others coming up behind her. Reportedly sharing a post by Edge of Sports that read, Khalif deserves so much better than this tsunami of racism, misogyny, and transphobia being heaped upon her by a coterie of fascists, right-wingers, and useful idiots. The New York Times, writing in a headline, boxer in controversy over eligibility lets her gloves do the talking. Wired, which was the absolute worst. For some reason, they decided their background in tech enabled them to declare once and for all whether someone is a man or a woman. And of course, not surprisingly, they got it wrong. They tweeted, Megyn Khalif has always defined herself as a woman and has every right to compete. USA Today called it an unhinged controversy. Bloomberg called it all a manufactured controversy. The Intercept deemed it nothing more than, quote, a right-wing campaign to purge women from women's sports. The Associated Press managed to bring race into the controversy, writing, quote, for female athletes of color, scrutiny around gender rules and identity is part of a long trend. So now you're a racist if you identify someone with XY chromosomes as male. After the gold medal win, Khalif was then showered with attention, appearing on the cover of Vogue Arabia, going to Milan Fashion Week and sitting front row at the Bottega Veneta show. Vogue writing up an article about it that read, for her foray into high fashion, the gold medalist, donning a mustard yellow button-up leather shacket, which is apparently a thing, along with a pair of black leather trousers. While she left her medal at home, Khalif wore a pair of the Italian house's viral drop earrings, in gold, of course. So that is a long wind-up for what I'm about to tell you. Nearly a year after Khalif took gold, stole gold. Leaked lab results confirm Khalif is male. The lab results, the ones that got Khalif banned from the 2023 World Championships, were obtained and published by 3 Wire Sports. It is the premier Olympics-focused media outlet. It's run by former NBC and LA Times reporter Alan Abrahamson. Abrahamson came forward last year, you see, during the Olympics to say, look, I personally have seen these test results for Megyn Khalif that showed Khalif was male, but no one cared. No one would listen to him. We did, because unlike most in the media, we interviewed Abrahamson back in August regarding what he, an eyewitness, first person to those test results, had seen. Watch.
And then it says result. It says abnormal. And then it says evidence of male karyotype. So a karyotype is refers to your chromosomal evidence. And here it says male with a capital M, male.
Oh, you mean the passport wasn't the final source? We shouldn't have trusted it? Gee, tell it to Mark Adams of the IOC. Now, here is what is new. Abrahamson has now actually published the results. They state exactly what he said they did on this show. Quote, analysis reveals male karyotype, which means XY chromosomes. A male. Abrahamson is also reporting that Khalif is being told by World Boxing that he must take a chromosome test to prove eligibility before returning to competition. Khalif is hoping to compete in a boxing match next week, but no test, no match. As for Lin Yuting, last November, the boxer pulled out of an international competition in the UK after the organizers questioned his gender eligibility. Both of these two, when actually pressed, saying you can't compete because you appear to be a male, have not challenged it. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? And what about Khalif's gold medal? Will he be forced to give it back? He should. However, there are zero rumblings of that actually happening. And Khalif has said he plans to defend his Olympic gold when the games return to Los Angeles in 2028. He wants all the women's golds, all of them in boxing. And he's not worried about President Trump's stance on men competing in female sports because in March, Khalif told ITV, a media outlet in the UK, quote, the U.S. president issued a decision related to transgender policies in America. I'm not transgender. This does not concern me, and it does not intimidate me, completely skirting the issue that he appears to be intersex, and irrespective of exactly what his particular gender problem is, he's a biological male, which is the problem. Separately, the IOC is about to get a new president. Zimbabwean Christy Coventry, set to take over the job on June 23rd. She's been vocal in her support for a blanket ban on men competing in female sports at the games. However, she was part of the IOC executive board that allowed Khalif and Lin Yutin to compete in the first place, knowing what they already knew about world boxing and them being banned. So to all the female boxers training for the next Olympics, you better find your voices now to stop it. Or lace up your gloves and get ready for a quick and easy and likely dangerous knockout. This administration is working very hard to try and fix this country. But while they're focused on fixing the country, they can't fix your personal finances. That's really up to you. And that's why thousands of Americans are turning to Birch Gold. In the past 12 months, the value of gold has risen by 30%. Think about that. How's your stock market investment doing? Has it gone up 30%? Have you made 30% on your money? And demand is strong and it's growing. While reports are that the BRICS nations are actively working to challenge the US dollar as the world's reserve currency, that's not great. In other uncertain times, gold has offered peace of mind. And in these uncertain times, it does the same. Birch Gold makes it incredibly easy to convert your existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA backed by physical gold. Or if you prefer, you can buy gold to store in your own home safe. Just text MK to the number 989898, and Birch Gold will send you a free info kit on gold. There's no obligation, only useful information. With an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau and tens of thousands of happy customers, take control of protecting your savings today. Text MK to the number 989898. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.